What's up, everybody? Welcome back to One More Thing. Today I'm here with Pastor Mark, and this past week he talked about what do we do with God's grace. A few things they covered was, first, we have to realize we need grace, and then second, we need to receive the grace. And then after that is what do we do with it? So how do we share it? How do we do it? So what's one way, like in our church now, that we're like showing that and sharing grace?
I'm impressed you paid attention, so that's great. Yeah, it is really important as we learn about God's grace and what He offers, and as Jeff just said, to receive it, and we need to act upon it and to share it. That's what God calls us to do. And Titus 2:11 is just one of those key passages where the Apostle Paul is writing to Titus, and he says, "For the grace of God that brings salvation has appeared to all people." And so we need to keep that in mind as we look for opportunities to share grace, because God's salvation is for everyone. As I mentioned in the message, and as the Bible talks about, it's for every ethnicity, it's for every culture, it's for men, women, it's for everyone. All means all. And so one of the ways, even coming up here in the very near future at Porterfield, is we're going to be hosting our second annual Night to Shine event, which is sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation. And it's a way that we can show grace to all people, and part of the segment of all people are those that have special needs of various kinds and their family members. Last year was our first year doing it. It was amazing. We were extending grace to them and their families, but we were receiving blessings in doing it. So many hearts were touched. And so coming up at this year's Night to Shine, once again, it will be an evening where we will have a meal for our special and honored guests, the special needs individuals that come to attend. And we will be sharing the gospel with them in a creative and fun way. And then also they'll have an opportunity to just spend the evening together. It's almost like a prom event, basically what it is like, but it's so much more than that, because again, the good news of Jesus Christ is being shared, the love of Christ is being demonstrated in so many ways. There's lots of activities going on here. So we are really looking forward to how we can display the grace of God through that, because there's no charge. Cost is covered by generous donations from people in the church and from the Tebow Foundation, from people in the community, and we just want to share that grace with those that come that night.
Yeah, that's something definitely I know most people are looking forward to in the church. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a great night. What is another way that I guess we can constantly keep our minds on, like, how we can keep giving grace out? Like, I know it's difficult sometimes because we get in our own little worlds, and I know one of your points was our attitude towards others.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, is how do we keep our minds like focused on continually giving grace throughout the day, I guess.
Well, and that's so important, Jeff, is as you say, as we stay in God's Word, we need to be reminded that we have received grace, so we need to extend it to others in the same way that we've done things that has not been honoring to God and hurt Him, and yet He still extends His grace to us. When we do things, when we get into disagreements with people and emotions can run high, we need to be reminded, hey, I've got to stop here. I've got to exemplify the grace of God, the grace of Christ, and give this person who has offended me a second chance, or look for ways that we can have a discussion and continue to be gracious, so that there can be healing that comes, and hopefully a positive way to move forward. So what I'm trying to say is, when we get into disagreements or we get hurt with people, we need to make sure that we have that attitude of grace. And it really ties in with what Jesus taught about forgiveness, because those two go hand in hand, forgiveness and grace.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's definitely some good points that we should put into practice every week. So coming up this Sunday, do you have any kind of preview for what's coming up this Sunday's message?
Just going to be talking about, again, how we share the grace of God, and part of that is being a witness for Him. So the topic this Sunday will be dealing with how we can be an effective witness for Christ. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And so make sure you join us this Sunday at 8:30 or 11 to continue as we talk about how we share grace. Thanks.